This American TV show is the most insane thing I've ever witnessed.
This isn't just any bar, it's a bar.
It's sort of the ultimate adult fantasy.
Get that camera out of my face.
Excuse me. Up.
Fixing bars is easy. Fixing people is tough.
Hello, you gorgeous donuts. Over 10,000 bars in America close yearly. The entire hospitality trade is in shambles. But one businessman, one bar-running expert is on a mission to save bars from turning to dust. This man is called John Taffer, and he created a TV show called Bar Rescue, where he attempts to transform America's most chaotic bars, owned by clueless owners, into money-making machines within 7 days. This is basically Kitchen Nightmares, but just the bar and pub version. However, some of the bars featured in Bar Rescue are beyond saving, and that is so apparent in the episode we're going to be breaking down today, which is known as the most insane episode of Bar Rescue they've ever aired, where the owner and all of the staff actually believe they're real-life pirates. I wish I was kidding. So we're going to see if John and his team can steer this ship in the right direction, or if the owner and all of the staff have to walk the plank. And as always with my videos, at the end of this video we are going to see where the bar is today and see if it's still open. I'm so excited. Let's just get into this. So the episode begins with us learning a little bit about the bar that John is going to help. It's called the Pirates Tavern.
This isn't just any bar, it's a bar.
Alright, I've seen enough. I'm going home. Right, just cut the cameras. Right, we can't save these people. It's a bar. Sorry, why did I just hit that first time? Maybe it's a life on the seas is for me. Why have I never contemplated that before? Can you imagine if I just became a pirate? How the aura that I would have. Now, the Pirates Tavern is owned by a woman called Tracy, and she originally had the idea to open this place because she held her own Halloween party when she left her corporate job, and she wanted to make, wearing a costume a lifestyle. And apparently the only way to do this was open the Pirates Tavern so she could become a pirate for the rest of her life.
Being a pirate is the ultimate Peter Pan syndrome. To live like a child, yet be an adult.
Was Peter Pan a pirate? I feel like Peter Pan wasn't a pirate. Captain Hook was a pirate. And I mean, love, if you're gonna, fully go for it, chop the hand off and you need a hook. That's all I'm saying. If you're really about this life, if you're really down like that, just saying. But because of the theme of the bar, where basically everyone's dressed like a pirate, they only attract a very tiny fragment of clientele. A lot of the clientele is performers who wear costumes, or just other people who also believe they are pirates and only wear pirate clothes 24/7. This is mental.
They call me One-Eyed Mike because, well, there really only is one eye. Only pirates will ever meet in 200 years that actually lost his left eye to a sword duel.
Fair play, mate. Fair play. I have no commentary for that. That's just kind of hard. It is interesting to understand why these people, dress like pirates 24/7. I'm not saying this about this guy, but he might like dressing up as a pirate because it's an excuse for him to wear a patch, and he might be self-conscious about his eyes. So it's almost to him it might be less embarrassing to wear a full costume than just normal clothes with a patch. I'm not saying he needs to wear a patch, but I'm just trying to get in the mindset of why someone would want to be a pirate 24/7. Or maybe he just likes Pirates of the Caribbean. That's also another thing.
Pirates only attracted a tiny customer base of Renaissance fair reenactors and career pirate performers.
I also love the fact that the clientele are also full-time costume wearers. This place is the real-life embodiment of the four ghosts in Scooby-Doo 2 Monsters Unleashed. Where all the criminals, who are dressed up, all go and drink on a night time. Where Scooby and Shaggy are just, oh, what a movie that is, man. What a movie. Anyone fancy watching Scooby-Doo 2 with us, please? Now, the more we learn about this place, it's quite easy to see where they're going wrong a lot of the time. For instance, Tracy, when she opened this place, just made her partner head chef, even though he's never worked in a kitchen ever. We also find out that the people that work at this place don't actually work at all.
Yeah, we don't really have a captain, and we just drink and we party all the time. I thought it would be fun to come down here, but this was one of the worst experiences ever.
Wait, so the people that work there just use this place as an excuse to drink. so they don't actually work there. They're just basically taking the piss out of the owners a little bit. They're acting as if they're in Pirates of the Caribbean, like they're on the sea just drinking rum, just roaming the high tides. You do know this ship is stationary, right? The anchor is permanent. To be fair, this seems like the best job ever. You just get paid to wear like a pirate's costume and drink all day. Come on then. Tracy then reveals that she's in £900,000 worth of debt. She's also lost all of her possessions, and she also faces losing the tavern within the coming months too. So basically, applying to be on bar rescue is her last chance. I really hope that John the host can actually help these people, because, you know, with Kitchen Nightmares and Gordon Ramsay, he has the stature that you know that he can help. I'm not too sure with this guy, because he's just a businessman. When the show actually introduces John, they introduce him like he's the godfather.
No one knows more about bar science than John Taffer.
I don't embrace excuses. I embrace solutions.
Over the last 36 years, John has
He's definitely got that framed, like, in his office, next to, like, dream hard, play hard. You only live once. Live, laugh, and also remember to love.
Do something about it.
John will turn these money pits
Clean the place out.
into money makers.
Oh, come on! I'm so hyped! That intro was mint! Oh, I feel like I could just go and smash up a bar and fix it myself. Yes, John. I love this. He's basically the Temu version of Gordon Ramsay to Kitchen Nightmares. And you know on this channel, we love Kitchen Nightmares. So John turns up to the tavern late at night, and he also has his wife in the car, and he kind of parks across the road while he's explaining the ins and outs of the bar to her.
There it is, Pirates Tavern.
The place looks completely dead.
Oh, don't worry about that. Everyone's just anchoring their ships about 100 miles away. They're walking now. There'll be a couple of days, but they'll be here.
They live this pirate lifestyle in there.
Also, not to, you know, call out like I'm the pirate police here, but can you really call yourself a pirate if you're not on water? Like, is there land pirates? I don't think there is. Also, if there is, that's not that cool in my book, actually. Like, you're a land pirate. It's not really the same, is it? Like, you think pirate, oh, right, that's pretty sexy. Land pirate, oh, what? Oh, what? Oh, that's an ick. Your fella's a land pirate. Now, I was wondering why he's brought his wife with him, like if he's the guy who goes in and fixes these places, but he sent her in as like an undercover agent to kind of test the bar so she doesn't get like a biased experience. Because I imagine if this guy goes in, like every single bar in America probably knows him because of the show, and also they've applied to be honest, so they're probably just going to treat him a lot better than the average customer. Now, just observing her experience in this bar, I thought it was pretty good. Like, loads of people came up to her, but she doesn't seem to be that happy.
This is my personal choice, so it's a very good one. The staff was very friendly, almost overly friendly, like as if they were trying to cover up for something else.
What would they be covering up for? Like a murder? Have they just murdered like a rival ship or something? What would they be covering up for here? I feel like the servers were just quite nice.
At some point throughout the night, almost every employee came up to me to find out what I was doing. I think these people know who I am. I've been made.
Now, I haven't seen every single episode of Bar Rescue, I will admit, so I don't know if, like, John's wife is also, like, in every single episode. I have watched a couple and I didn't see her in, like, in them ones as well. So maybe she is famous and they just know who she is, because they are all looking over, so I imagine they probably do, but it is kind of funny that she's like, yeah, they probably know who I am. You know, yeah. He's like, famous celebrity. I do that all the time. Like, if I go to KFC or something and, like, you know, the person behind the till smiles at us, I go, they know who I am. Yeah, getting the premium service, obviously. Make my gravy extra thick, love. That's a joke, okay? Any new people are probably like thinking, God, this guy's a bit of a knob. God, I was liking this guy until now. John's wife then goes back to the car and says, like, yeah, I think they knew who I was. And John says, yeah, obviously you probably stick out like a sore thumb there. So he basically knew that she was going to get a premium service, so he kind of just used her as bait for the show. Classic businessman. Use everybody around you to your advantage. But he has another trick up his sleeve. He actually sends in 2 undercover pirates into the tavern. They're not actual land pirates. They're just 2 people who own a bar that he's previously helped in the series.
Last year, John saved the Chicken Bone in Framingham, Massachusetts from certain demise.
Wait, so does this mean basically if this guy comes to your bar and helps you out and turns it around, you're forever in his debt for like little tasks he has for you? Because honestly, this kind of makes him like the Godfather. It's like nothing's for free. You know, Gordon Ramsay just kind of helps them and then leaves them and just leaves them to their own devices to, you know, kind of carry on his good work. John's like, just remember, I'm gonna ring one day and you're gonna answer it. I'm gonna need you to go into a pirate's tavern one day, and you're gonna do it. This makes me think that I don't want John's help because I'm gonna be in his debt.
But unlike Nicole, they are unable to get help from anybody on the staff.
Right, you want to just go back there?
Let's just go back.
Right.
Let's go back there.
Okay. Well, that's a little bit of a different experience to what John's wife got. Also, there's nobody in now. So what happened in like the hour? Did everyone just clear out? Is everyone just such a big fan of John's wife?
Sir, can we get some menus? Does anybody work here?
Hi.
I love that Tracy's partner just looked at them and went, ugh. He just looked at them in disgust. He's like, why are you asking for a menu in a bar, you absolute idiot?
Well, we were waiting and waiting.
And waiting.
Yeah.
There's only one of me and so many of you.
Well, he's lovely, isn't he? Bless him. Oh, God. You know, a smile paints 1,000 words, it does. Why already is he on the defensive? Like, he's so hostile. He was like, I mean, there's only one of me. It's like, yes, but we're the only 2 customers here. What else are you doing? That was so passive. It wasn't even passive-aggressive. It was just aggressive. I don't know if I'm fond of this pirate. It must have been a hard day at sea.
It was like a rum, soda, I don't know.
It was nasty.
It must be so good if you've been on this show as like a terrible bar to now be one of the ones that are good, like judging other terrible bars. It must just feel like a power move. You're like, yeah, honestly, they're shit. No, they like, we weren't as bad as them. They were terrible, honestly. Oh, God. If we were like them, I probably would have stopped ages ago, honestly. They then try and order food and they're told that the fish is fresh, whereas in reality, it's not. It's actually frozen.
The fresh catch was like frozen, I don't know, pond bass or something like that. It was nasty.
This is so wild that they treated John's wife so good, and then this is the actual service of the place. Like, that is wild. One person I will give credit to is Tracy, the owner of the place. She actually seems like a really nice person. Like, when she comes over to ask the undercover pirates, like, have they had a good time? They say that, oh, the fish, like, tasted really weird, and they ask her, like, is it fresh? And she goes, no, sorry, it's frozen. Like, she doesn't lie to them.
If it's the mahi entree, it is, yeah.
It's frozen.
Oh, well, you should be bringing you back the bill, and I did take some stuff off your bill, and I apologize that things weren't up to par.
Like, her customer service there, like, she didn't get angry, she didn't get annoyed, she took stuff off the bill. Like, she seems like she's really nice, bless her. So hopefully she will actually be able to, like, kind of work with John to turn this place around. However, I am not convinced. Like, how do you even turn round a pirate bar? Surely the ceiling of this place is, like, very low. Like, there's only so much success you can have with a place like this. I'm trying to think, like, maybe as if you incorporated, like, a crazy golf, and it was, like, a crazy golf experience that was, like, pirate themed, and there was a bar and everything like that served alcohol. Maybe then it would have a little bit more, like, about it, but just a bar by itself, I just feel like it's too niche. Apparently this place is based in, like, a financial district in America, a bit like what Canary Wharf is in London, so it's very corporate. So, like, how many people who work in, like, office blocks are also, like, full-time pirates? I don't think many. There will be one, though. The undercover pirates that leave the tavern and they go back to John to report how awful it was. And after this, John decides to just march straight in and confront Tracy.
Welcome to Pirate's Tavern.
Nice to be here. Were you busy?
I think my place speaks for itself.
That was actually quite a funny response. Well, you're not going to have to barge past anyone, so that's a positive.
It's a pirate bar in Silver Spring, Maryland. Corporate people don't want to go have lunch in a pirate bar.
The way he says it is quite goofy, but it actually is very true. I don't know where this place would kind of fit, but definitely not within, like, a financial kind of district. This just doesn't fit at all. I don't know why they've opened it here. It also just seems like a little bit of a mistake to have a pirate bar, like, in the middle of a city. Surely you'd want a pirate bar, like, near the sea, you know? The pirates, like, they've, you know, committed treason or whatever they commit on the seas, they come and have a drink, right? And then they go back out. What pirate's going to park the ship up and then walk for like 100 miles to the... They're not going to do that. Tracy then sits down with John and they try to get to the bottom of why the place is failing and how they can fix it.
Have you always wanted to open a pirate bar?
It's sort of the ultimate adult fantasy. Dangerous and sexy.
I mean, that is the first thought that I had when I saw this bar. I was like, ooh, lock us up. throw away the key. It's about to get dangerous and sexy in here. You're gonna need a seatbelt for this ride, my friend. She's clearly passionate about this, and that's a great thing. But it does beg the question, like, why did she decide to open a bar? Like, she could just throw parties, or, you know, have like a kind of normal bar with little bits of pirate kind of themes in it, and then maybe it's like once a month have a full-on pirate themed party, you know? Because if you're trying to be like a pirate every day, then the novelty kind of wears off, and then it doesn't become dangerous or sexy anymore. You're just a pirate, and a land pirate, the least sexiest pirate. Bloody land pirates.
I know we don't have the money to pay all the bills, but we're a niche market, and when people do come in here, they love us.
But surely, like, if people really loved you, they'd become regulars, right? Like, it's a bar, like, they'd come back all of the time. Clearly, the people don't like it that much, otherwise they would, or like, they'd be here every night, or at least every week.
I live with my parents in the basement of their house, with my husband and my 17-year-old daughter.
So it's impacted your daughter, it's impacted your parents.
Now, obviously, that sounds kind of dumb when you hear it like they're like, you know, she's kind of lost everything to this failing business and she refuses to believe that it's a failing business. But clearly she's passionate about this. Clearly this is what she loves. Otherwise, you know, she would have called it quits by now and just sold the business. But she really, really wants to make it a success, which is like the hardest thing to get. She's got the motivation for it. She just doesn't know how to make money out of it, which is hopefully what John can provide.
I sent my recon people in, a couple in a pirate suits.
Really?
Yeah. You comped their entire food, didn't you?
Yes.
The fresh fish was frozen. It was a lot.
The bastards. I knew they weren't real pirates. Also, I'm just thinking, like, you served pirates frozen fish. Like, surely pirates get the best fresh fish. Why would you serve a pirate frozen fish? At this point, John says that basically he doesn't know if he can help this place because obviously, like I said earlier, if they don't change the theme of it being just for pirates, they're not going to be able to grow as you know, as funny as that sounds. John then takes the conversation, like, up a couple of intensity levels, and this forces Tracy's partner to get involved.
If you're not ashamed by the fact that you have menu lies, that you're serving food that is undercooked, what makes you ashamed?
Bloody hell. I don't even feel like this is about the bar anymore. He's just like, what makes you ashamed? What do you do when the lights are off and the doors are locked? What do you search up on incognito mode with a VPN? I'm sure this guy has to have like a line of something before he does this show. Like, his eyes are so wide. I would break in front of him.
Oh, what the that guy talk like that? The food is good.
To be fair, I think I would be the same with Chloe. If this random guy started like shouting at her like that, I'd be like, well, because it's not really needed. Like, him shouting like that is probably just for entertainment purposes, but it just kind of seems disrespectful in my opinion, because she's not really raised her voice at him. She's kind of just give honest answers. And I feel like this just came out of nowhere. Like, he just started being a little bit disrespectful in my opinion.
Your food is the worst I've ever seen. It stinks. Let me explain something to you. She had to buy them your dinner tonight because you blew it.
This guy has just came into the tavern and just wreaked havoc, calling out pirates left, right and centre, making them walk the plank. This is so strange because I definitely think he's seen Kitchen Nightmares and seen how Gordon Ramsay creates intensity, and his way of doing it is just raising his voice and shouting at everybody, whereas in reality he's the one that's created the tension here, really. A lot of the times in Kitchen Nightmares it's the owners being really passive aggressive and then Gordon Ramsay gets annoyed and then shouts at them. He's the one who's instigated this argument.
I cannot succeed. I can't fix this bar until these people accept that they're failing.
Like, was that really needed? Honestly? Was it needed? She literally went, oh yeah, so I'm like sleeping in the basement of my mum's house with my husband and my daughter, you know, just really trying to, you know, keep ourselves afloat, just, you know, get, you know, food on the table. And then he's just like, are you not ashamed? Shame? Do you not feel any fucking shame? Bloody hell. Honestly, at this point, I don't know how he's going to turn this place around, like, unless he actually just changes the name and changes the entire niche of the bar. Like, surely the only route would be making it kind of a bar that appeals to corporate people because of where it's situated. But I can't imagine these people and also Tracy wanting to work in that environment. It just doesn't feel like it suits them. And they'd be pretending to be people that they're not. John then sits down with Tracy and says that he's going to give her 5 days to turn this place around with him, which is only 120 hours in his words. And after that, he's leaving and he's not coming back, so she needs to get her act together.
5 years and $1 million of your life comes down to 5 days.
All right, no pressure then. John's first call of action is to gather all of the staff into the bar and kind of confront them about their antics. And I can't believe the response some of them give him.
Next 5 days, you work for me. Fixing bars is easy. Fixing people is tough.
Oh, this guy is like proper aura farming right now. He's trying to get like Pinterest quotes, get a little bit of like, you know, a dark Pinterest board with just that quote on so he can print it out and hand it to his kids when they get older. That's your dad right there.
You think it's funny that she's in debt $900,000?
No, it's not funny at all.
That's good to hear.
I mean, yeah, it's not the best joke. You know, if like Peter Kay said that at one of his stand-up concerts, I probably wouldn't laugh. I don't think it's that funny.
That's good to hear.
There is a grown man yelling at the top of his lungs at people who aren't children.
Why did he kind of serve there? I have been wondering that. Like, we're 12 minutes into the episode. I just want to know why John's always shouting. Like, he doesn't have an indoor voice. You know, like, all of the time he's shouting when he doesn't need to. Even in a private conversation. Like, he never has a private conversation. Everybody is in his conversation because of how loud he speaks.
Well, you're dressed like a 6-year-old child. I wouldn't talk about that.
This is mint. It's like a tennis match of insults between Roger Federer and Nadal. It's world class. Just, you're always shouting. You dress like a fucking child. He did kind of get him back there, I can't lie. He's kind of saved himself a little bit.
I do this professionally for a living, and if he thinks this is a get-up a 6-year-old will wear, it makes me angry.
But what do you actually do, like, professionally as a living? Like, I'm not actually trying to be harsh here. I just want to know what you do, because you don't bring people into this bar. Like, clearly you're not trained in being, like, a cocktail maker because people don't like the drinks. So what is it that you're professional with? Just wearing the pirate costume? And that's it? Because this place isn't successful. It's not making money. So I just want to understand, like, from the point of views of the people that actually work here who claim to be pirates 24/7, how are they professional pirates? Because at the minute it seems like they're kind of just taking the piss out of Tracy a little bit. And in my opinion, just from like the brief, you know, description we've got of Tracy, she seems like a little bit like she lets people walk all over her, like she's too nice to be an owner of this place. The fact the staff just drink all of the alcohol, like that will be putting her in so much debt. Like all them resources just getting wasted and they're not getting paid for.
He's gonna make me put on a shirt and a tie. No.
It's a pirate bar. You don't like it, get the out.
Yes, but like nobody's coming in to actually get out. People have to come in to actually be sent out, love. That's not even happening. We can't even get to the getting out bit at the minute. Like, you do realise that you possibly might not have a job in 2 months unless we actually try and change this place around. Like, the owner is nearly in £1 million of debt. Like, I get it. Like, that's your passion in life and that's amazing that you found something that you love. Like, you know, believing that you're a pirate. That's great. But like, this place still has to make money, otherwise, you know, it just can't function. It has to have a little bit of like a business model behind it. You can't just get paid to dress up like a pirate and then just go home and just do nothing. Like, that's not fair. John then brings in an award-winning bar chef called Chef Capone, and he's going to transform how the Pirate Tavern runs its kitchen. And when he sees the menu of the Pirate Tavern, he straight away realises all of the red flags about this place.
It's crazy. Literally.
At over 18 pages long, with over 146 choices.
18 pages? I don't even think the Harry Potter books were as big as that. Christ! You'd get a full blockbuster movie franchise out of that. Do not let the Russo brothers see this. Also, like 150 different options to pick. Like, that must be so stressful for being like the chefs. Like, how do you even stock all of them ingredients? Also, how do you even pick? Like, I'm somebody that, like, I just can't make a decision when I'm in a restaurant. Like, I just don't know. There's just too many options for it. I want to try a little bit of everything. But 140 items, I'd be there all day. Chef Capone then observes how good Tracy's partner, Giussiano, is at cooking when he serves up his signature dish.
I'm not eating any more of that.
Oh, God.
A little spicy, huh?
Sorry. Wait, do you not try it whilst you're cooking? So the food that you cook, you can't even stomach yourself. What's the point in serving it to other people then? Like, did you not try it? Like, how has he just spat that out in the bin?
I've never seen anybody actually serve something that they don't taste themselves.
Why I have to taste? Because I
taste
see it's
everything.
good.
Wait, why do you have to taste it? Because I can see it's good, but it's not good because you tasted it and you realised it wasn't good. I'm not a chef, and even I know that taste is different to presentation, okay? I've watched a few seasons of MasterChef. I see where they get rated down for their presentation. Yes, it's key, but it's not everything, Juicy Ardo, okay? Coming from someone that has cooked a few HelloFresh recipes. Speaking of HelloFresh, this video... No, it's not. I'm joking. Don't worry. I wish, though.
If he wasn't your husband, I would have let him go. All the things that you go out to eat at a restaurant for, why the food tastes so good, are not taking place in this kitchen.
Well, the reviews are in. They're not that great. And that is the danger of like employing your partner as the head chef of the kitchen, because if they're not that great, it's so much harder to tell them like, look, yeah, maybe this isn't working, because obviously like that's going to drive a wedge in their relationship, and then it drags into their personal life, and it's just going to be horrific. And it just seems like the more we learn about this tavern, Tracy is just kind of, you know, turning a blind eye to a lot of the bad stuff so she doesn't have to deal with it head on, which is mental, because she's trading hundreds of thousands of pounds of debt but just not hurting people's feelings, and it proves that she is a really nice person. After dealing with the kitchen, John then brings in another expert who is called Elaine. She's basically the owner of one of the biggest premium drinks brands in America. And this is also another difference between Gordon and with John. Like, Gordon Ramsay is dead hands-on in Kitchen Nightmares. Like, he basically deals with every little intricate detail. Whereas John is just a businessman, and he just leverages everything. Like, he just offsets everything. He just goes, oh, you go and fix that. Oh, you go and fix that. Like, he doesn't really do anything in this apart from just shout at the top of his voice constantly. He just gets other people who are more skilled to do it, which I guess like from a business standpoint is like, you know, smarter, but I have like less respect for him than I do for Gordon Ramsay, because in reality he will be the one that is creaming all of the money from this show. Before Elaine has her chance to change up the cocktail menu, she wants to observe how the bar staff currently make their cocktails and why they're so bad.
Ginger beer. And then it's all the rum.
Wow. Oh, and there's more.
Oh, there's more.
The ground is just diabetic shock.
Bloody hell, that's enough to be able to revisit your ancestors. Yeah, what? Honestly, when I had absinthe once, I thought I was like gonna die. Like, honestly, I thought I was like speaking to God. This would, you know, this would take me away with Peter Pan. I'd be there with the Lost Boys fighting a man with one hand. Bloody hell. This kind of reminds me when you go on holiday, you know, and you get like, I don't know, like I'll get like a Jack Daniels and Coke. Reality, it's just like this much Jack Daniels and then this bit of Coke. I love it though. After this, John then has a meeting with both of the experts he's brought in to kind of discover how bad this place really is.
What do we do, buddy? How do you fix it? We gotta teach him how to cook. He's never been taught how to cook.
So what do we do? Bring somebody in?
I mean, I think so.
We have to start from scratch.
I love this. So what do we do? Like, I'm literally asking you right now. I know I'm the expert, but like, I'm just asking you. We're gonna bring someone else in, like another person. I love how he just outrightly just like kind of takes no responsibility. He's like, yeah, we'll get someone.
There's 15,000 workers within a couple of blocks of this bar, and they're all looking for a place to go for lunch. Handily, they don't want to eat with pirates.
He's going to totally like not leave a single reminiscent of anything to do with pirates, isn't he? I definitely feel like he's going to make this like a really upmarket place that all of the staff and Tracy, the owner, doesn't want to work at. I can see it coming, because the guy clearly just has no empathy towards any of these people. Like, he's so cold with it. He's just coming from like a business standpoint, like a money making standpoint, which is great because she needs to get herself out of debt. But also Tracy like needs to like the place she's working in, because at the minute she loves it so much, it's just not making money. I feel like if it was making money and she didn't love it, then, you know, her heart wouldn't really be in it. So I hope they leave some aspect of the pirateness. John then lays out his plan with Tracy for how he wants the bar to be and how it's going to become this money-making machine. However, Tracy is not convinced.
I don't believe in throwing the baby out with the bathwater. I think there are changes that can be made. I don't think that the essence needs to be sacrificed for that.
There's no pirates here.
It is kind of true. But I also am kind of in the camp with Tracy as well. I feel like surely we can keep a little bit of the pirateness. Like, even the theme of it, like, can have just little things like skulls and stuff in, possibly. Again, I'm not a bar expert, but I just feel like he's going to take the entire soul out of this place. He's like the living embodiment of like somebody that knocks down a really old house and replaces it with like a really ugly modern one.
Completely and totally changing every aspect of this that has survived for 5 years.
Yes.
He's like, yeah, basically, I'm just gonna like take the entire heart of this place, because honestly, like, I wouldn't drink here, so that's enough for me.
Pirates Tavern becomes yet another casualty where the soul has been removed.
Businesses don't have souls. Businesses are profit centers.
See, like, when I watch Kitchen Nightmares with Gordon Ramsay, and I know I keep bringing it back to that because it's the exact same format here. They've basically just ripped off that show, but with bars. Gordon sees things from everyone's point of view. With John, he doesn't see it from the owner's point of view whatsoever. He only sees it from his point of view, and that, like, it's basically his word is gospel. The fact he said there that businesses don't have souls, like, yes, with a lot of businesses, they are just to make money, but a lot of businesses do have souls. Like, a lot of people, especially like soul traders, or even people who run like certain bars and stuff, like, their heart and their like entire like body will be invested in that business. They will love it, and a lot of people, when it's time to sell the businesses, like, end up crying and everything because they're so attached to it. And it just seems like this guy just doesn't have any emotional kind of empathy for the people that he's dealing with here, because I get the vibe straight away that if he turns this into a place that makes millions of pounds a year, or, you know, but like every couple of years, Tracy isn't gonna want to work here. She's not gonna be motivated to do it no matter how much money it makes.
You're asking me to throw away everything that's in here.
Do you want to be a pirate, or do you want to send your daughter to college?
Can I not do both? How about this? How about I send her to a pirate college? Yeah, now we're talking, aren't we? Yeah. Studying the high seas of the North Atlantic. Oh. After John shouts at Tracy a little bit more, she eventually concedes that, okay, we need to take away the pirate aspect of this place if we want it to be a success. They then have to break this news to the other members of staff that this place is no longer going to be centered around being a pirate. And obviously they're all annoyed at this. Just quickly, if you haven't already, please press the subscribe button. We are on the hunt for 1 million donuts on this channel, so if you want to be in the Before 1 Million Donut Club, I think you should press subscribe right now, personally. 53.4% of you watching this video haven't pressed that button yet, and you'll just help us on this journey we're trying to achieve. Join our community now. Would love to have you.
We're not attracting the bulk of the people around here. We have to push more towards a corporate atmosphere.
Guys, we got to fill this bar for lunch.
This guy is like the devil to these pirates right now. He's like the Grim Reaper of pirates. Look at them all just looking at the floor, knowing their days of sailing the high seas are nearly over. Well, actually, I don't know if any of these pirates have actually been on the sea.
If you don't like what I'm doing, so be it. Because I'm not here to prove myself to you. Are you here tomorrow or not?
Maybe I'm not.
He gets like so... I feel like I'm criticising John a lot here. I imagine he probably does turn this place around, okay, so I will eat my words. But he just seems to get ultra defensive when one person says something that, like, he doesn't agree with. Like, I feel like if you are really, really motivated to make this place a success with it being a pirate tavern, and somebody comes along one day and goes, by the way, we're changing everything about this place and none of yous can be, like, you know, your passion anymore. In that moment, you probably are going to be a bit dismissive of it. That doesn't make you necessarily a bad person. I feel like what makes you, you know, a little bit of a bad person is kind of drinking the alcohol and not paying for it and kind of taking advantage of the owner.
Are you going to be a part of this, or am I going to run you over?
I am not going to be berated by some overbearing ass.
I like that worker kind of kept his cool. He didn't shout back at him. He kind of just reserved. He was like, okay, just saying, I don't like the way that you speak to people. I'm going to leave.
Just take this get that camera out of my face. I'm done.
And again, I feel like I would act like this on camera because these people aren't getting paid to be on camera right now. Like, they don't get any extra money for their meltdown being live to the nation. It just makes everything else much more intense.
You have no idea how hard it is for a guy like me to get a job anywhere else. I've tried.
You've got a great personality. There is a place for you here.
And that's really sad because obviously that's the guy, you know, who has one eye, and like I said previously, he probably is really self-conscious about his eye, and he puts it down to only having one eye is the reason he's lost various other job opportunities. So like I said, he probably feels a lot of comfort in wearing a pirate patch and dressing like a pirate because it almost, I'm not saying, like, in his own mind, it almost makes him feel like everyone else, even though he is like everyone else. So this is probably really scary for him. So I'm glad that John actually had a bit of empathy towards him compared to the last guy.
Well, let's come in tomorrow morning as civilians, not pirates. And let's go to work. Good night, guys. See you tomorrow.
You'd be gutted if you'd just been to like the local Asda and bought loads of, like, you know, new pirate gear for the week. You know, you'd be like, well, that was a waste. I might as well have just literally shoved 30 quid down the drain there. What was the point in that? It's fine, I'll just throw this robe away and this hat. Didn't want it anyway. It's all right. It's now the next morning and only 72 hours until John leaves for good. Now, he has transformed the sign outside of the tavern and renamed the entire place. However, he's got like a cloak over it, so none of the staff can see yet, so I imagine they're going to reveal it later in the episode. John then lets the staff know that tonight they're going to be relaunching like a soft launch, so I don't really know what a soft launch is. It's kind of just, I guess, not an official opening of it. He's also brought in a brand new chef straight out of culinary school who is going to work with Giussiano cooking the food for tonight. Chef Capone has also reduced the menu significantly, like there's only little plates you can order now, not 140 different meals, so that's going to make things hopefully less stressful. I also feel like that fits a tavern vibe a lot better. Like when you go to a tavern for like drinks, you kind of just want little plates. You don't want like a full-on like Sunday dinner or a huge meal. But I am intrigued to see if this even is a tavern anymore. Like they haven't even released what the name is, so it's quite hard to gauge like if these new changes are going to be successful yet. But already Chef Capone, after all the changes, isn't convinced that tonight is going to go well.
I have no idea what they've been doing, but I don't know how they've been doing anything at all with...
Why is he shit scared of him? He's like, with fucking him over there. That twat. You know him? Yeah, they're useless. He does know that Giussiano's going to watch this back and, possibly have his head for this. The man's a pirate, for Christ's sake. Elena's also teaching the pirates, like, a new cocktail menu that they'll be serving tonight. And also, like, it's interesting because nothing's been made that they're now wearing normal clothes. Like, it's almost like the pirate thing wasn't a thing. They've just totally forgot about it. I thought they might have, like, made it dramatic, like them walking in normal clothes, because in reality, we haven't seen these people dress when they're not in pirates' costumes. But one thing I did notice is when they're observing how to make these cocktails, they just look so sad.
So many boozes on top of each other that they really got lost. So the hottie is going to be using Don...
Look at their faces, man. It's like all of the life, all of the soul has been sucked out of them. It is going to be interesting when we see like today's update to see if they actually like kept all of these changes and they proceeded to not wear the costumes because they just don't even look like the same people. They just don't have the same personality or energy as they did previously. It just seems like the entire place has lost a little bit of its soul. However, like the new drinks and the new food is a lot better, so hopefully, it does make this place a success. And at this point, John isn't happy with how much progress has been made. He wants more, so he brings in another expert. This guy is forming like the Fantastic Four of the hospitality sector. She's called Jessie, who is a hospitality service trainer. Basically, just makes people become the best servers they can be. Again, it's just hilarious how John basically doesn't do anything to help these people really apart from shout at them. Like, it's the experts that really make the changes. He's just the guy with the money in the production crew. However, when the hospitality server expert Jessie is doing her sessions with the waiting team, it doesn't go that well.
Ladies, good evening. What brings you here this day?
Mike, are you still a pirate or are we back to normal?
Is he talking like a pirate there? I can't tell because I don't know if that's just his normal voice and that's just morphed into his personality. I mean, I didn't hear any like, "Arr, shiver me timbers, what you ordering? Rum? Don't worry, it's coming right up." Maybe that's just his voice and his kind of aura. I don't know.
I'm just...
Do you want me to do it? Like, this is just me.
They are screwing everything up before they can move on. And
let me know your opinion on this because, like, I do understand that he does talk, different to other people. It's a lot more like, dramatic and kind of theatric. It just seems like they're trying to make this place and make these people something they're not. Like, this guy is never going to be, a really posh corporate guy. Like, that's just not who he is. So either you need to employ people who are going to serve this kind of sector if this is the route you're going down, or just deal with this is the type of guy he is because they're trying to make him something he's not and he's just not going to enjoy working here.
act like the people you see outside of this place.
I hate those people.
Those people are going to make you money.
I mean, that's not a good comment. The people that are going to be coming into this place and the regular clientele, he despises them. So how is he going to, how is he going to have a warm personality with the people that he genuinely hates? The people that have probably bullied this man, he has to be nice to them now. The show then fast forwards a couple of hours to the soft opening, and the first thing you notice is how many people are pouring into this bar at once.
With the soft open just moments away and customers lined up outside, it's time to see if this crew of pirates will sink or swim.
But they're not pirates anymore. So are they pirates Or are they not? You're confusing us here. You can't keep calling them pirates when they've took off their costume. By the way, there's so many people here. Like, this would be hard for any restaurant or any bar to, you know, cope with. Even a successful one, even the best bar in town would struggle with having this influx of people at once. So I have no idea how they're gonna cope with this.
Get the meatballs. Stop worrying about the chicken and give me the meatballs now.
Guys, can I take a food order for you?
Yeah, you already got my order, right?
Yes.
That was a test. Well done, you passed. You're on it tonight, son. Okay. What the fuck did they order? What did they order? Did they order?
Guys, we're crashing. Come on, we gotta move.
With inattentive service and an overwhelmed kitchen, customers begin walking out.
Yeah, no shit. I get like throwing them in at the deep end, but this just seems too early. Like, you know, no interior transformations have been made yet. And this is like the entire clientele of the area. This is their first impression of this place. So they're not going to come back now. Like, maybe he's getting a few tables in, you know, putting a bit of stress on everyone, but not like the entire clientele because they're just not going to come back. Like, first impressions are so important, and this is their first impression of the grand, like, soft launch of it. It just makes no sense to me. It just seems like you're purposely destroying the confidence of the people that work here.
What time in the kitchen?
Don't ask me what time the kitchen
I don't give a what it's
You're a
talking about.
restaurant. I learned tonight that Giussiano cannot run this kitchen. When he says do something, you do it.
Firstly, like, Giussiano is taking the piss out of his wife Tracy right now. Like, honestly, like, he just seems like even he doesn't really give a shit about this place. It's also just so funny to see John just like come in and just basically reiterate what the head chef just said, but just louder. He's just like the headmaster. You're like, what does this guy actually do apart from just kind of repeat what the other teachers have already said? After this confrontation, Giussiano literally just leaves the kitchen and stops while service is still on, which means that Tracy has to chase after him, which also leaves a gap in the servers, so then it puts the servers under more stress. Now, you would think this would make the entire service collapse. However, the kitchen is actually running a lot smoother, and this is because Jason, the chef who's straight out of culinary school, is running everything now. So, like, obviously he's trained in this profession, so he just knows exactly what to do with the expert Chef Capone. However, like I said, because Tracy has left a gap within the servers, this has put them under so much more stress, which is causing them to collapse.
Excuse me.
You know what? I really do feel for this guy because he is giving it 100% and he's trying to keep his cool and he's trying to do it, but it's just not working for him. Even when he smashed those drinks there, he was like... Like, it must be the most infuriating thing ever. Like, obviously these drinks have been made, you've taken them over, and then they smash and you know that it's your fault, but you can't get angry because you literally only have yourself to blame. It'll be because he's under so much stress that, you know, eventually he's just gonna, like, you know, capsize. He's a bloody pirate. He's used to this.
Are you losing it?
I am.
You can't lose it, man.
He was holding a knife there like he was about to, you know, just give John a cheeky one of them. Right? He was about to make John a statistic there. I feel like that was his pirateness, you know, rising to the surface there. Like, that's what he'd do if, like, you know, he was under pressure, getting invaded by, like, a rival pirate ship. He'd start pulling the weapons out. He's got to chill out a little bit. He's on land now. Remember that. This is one thing about Bar Rescue compared to Kitchen Nightmares as well. Like, the episodes are a little bit shorter and they don't really get you too invested in, like, the actual people that work at the bar or the restaurant. In Kitchen Nightmares, you obviously have a relationship with the owners. You feel a certain way about them. You feel a certain way about the servers as well because they're very much in on it. Whereas, like, in this, you don't really feel a connection to anybody, really. Not even Tracy, the owner, because we've only had like a 3 or 4 minute interview with her. And then for the rest of the episode, you don't even see her again. So now the service is basically just going from bad to worse. So John gathers all the experts together to kind of talk about where they're going wrong and how they can fix it.
They've never expedited this fast before in their lives. They have no sense of efficiency.
All right, guys, let's go try to dig him out as best we can.
Well, great meeting experts. The experts literally just blamed everything on the people working there, even though it's like their first hours of dealing with this kind of service. There's just no responsibility getting taken here. John doesn't take any responsibility. He puts it on the experts. The experts don't take any responsibility. They just put it on the staff. There's just no accountability whatsoever. I get that it would be really hard for the experts to deal with these people considering they don't have much time with them, but that's why you're here. It's your responsibility to improve them, so if they don't improve, in my opinion, that's on you. However, after this conversation, John and the experts tried to motivate the staff to become better for the second half of the service, and it actually improves greatly. They then end the service on a really good note, and they actually, they got better as the service went on, which I guess is a positive. One alarming thing, though, is that, service ends, and then, 20 minutes later, Tracy turns up. She turns up without a partner, Giussiano, which is kind of mental because she hasn't been there the entire time. So then, how is she meant to improve if she's not actually, trying herself? She just didn't involve herself in this at all, and that's when I said, it's hard to, feel a connection with her because you're not actually seeing her improve or, change at all. And after she turns up, John then gathers her and the rest of the staff in the bar to talk about the night, what went wrong and what went well. And when they're halfway through this meeting, Giussiano actually turns up, which John's pretty shocked at.
We gotta talk about Giussiano for a minute.
Hello?
Speak of the devil.
There he is. Giussiano came back after our big...
He was like the Undertaker there. As soon as you mentioned his name, just appeared right behind him. By the way, tonight, don't say Giussiano in the mirror 3 times if you don't want him in your room while you sleep. Just saying. Tried it last night. Horrific. Couldn't get to sleep. He just kept trying to cook as a frozen fish. I was like, will you fuck off?
So what is he going to be doing for the relaunch?
We need somebody running food constantly, not when somebody has time.
That's a good idea.
Him. Everybody.
They're definitely trying to destroy his ego here because they don't like him. They're trying to be yeah, you can, just be a runner. Obviously an important role in the kitchen, but when you're used to being head chef, obviously it's not as important as being the head chef. But in reality, you don't have any credentials to be a head chef in this place. You haven't went out of your way to get the qualifications. You've just kind of bagged it because your wife owns the place. John then sends all of the staff home, and he says that while they're sleeping, him and his team are going to be transforming the interior of the tavern, which kind of gets me even more nervous because I feel like now they're officially going to take all of the soul out of this place. At least all of the decorations were still there, which kind of, had a little bit of the oldness about it. Now that's going to be taken away completely, I believe. Again, it is just so funny how the exact structure of this show down to the minute is exactly like Kitchen Nightmares. You really saw that structure and went, let's just not change anything, just swap kitchen out for bar. The show then progresses 36 hours and they reveal the brand new outside and the interior to Tracy and the staff. And honestly, this transformation is so wild.
1, 2, 3.
Oh, that's just...
What the f*** is that?
I fucking knew it. I called it. I didn't even see this before, I just knew. Right? Anyone want the lottery numbers? Just ask us, I'll give you them. I knew that you would do something corporate. I knew it! Also, is that not a little bit cringe? It's a corporate environment, everyone works in office buildings, but calling the bar corporate bar and grill? I don't know, it just seems a little cheesy. It doesn't give off that it's really, I guess presidential or posh. And also just this logo just doesn't reflect Tracy or Giussiano or any of the staff at all. I just can't see them being motivated to work here, even though I imagine this definitely fits the target area more and would definitely make them a lot more money.
I'm scared.
Look at their faces, man.
The whole point of this look is to get those business people to walk through this front door.
Yeah, honestly, me and the boys, after a full day of Forex trading, where are we going? Where are we dropping, lads? Oh, we're going to the corporate bar and grill. Yeah, we are. About to talk about how lit Ibiza's going to be this year. I'm getting a mint selfie with Wayne Lineker. Oh, yes, I am. This just gives such, Canary Wharf vibes. Everyone that goes here definitely, has entrepreneur in the bio and sells, a course on how you can make, £1,000 a month with a side hustle.
The staff is apprehensive, but I feel great about this place.
I don't know about this.
Yes! But you're not going to be working there. You're going to leave in a couple of hours. So surely the staff need to like it as well. Look at Giussiano. His head is down. He knows that Tracy isn't going to like this place. But again, from John's perspective, he's just trying to work with the local area here. So it is kind of Tracy's fault for buying this plot anyway. But I definitely feel like you should be, consulting with the owner here. I know they've probably signed a waiver, which basically says that John and his team can do whatever they want with their building everything they've got. But still, like, they should have an input on what it's going to look like. Or the name of it, at least. Or at least a little bit about the theme. Just something that's got their stamp on it. Otherwise, they're not going to be invested. How many times do I need to say this? And I know I'm overly critical on John here, but it just seems like they don't see things from, you know, the owner's perspective whatsoever. But again, I need to reiterate that the Pirates Tavern, it had to change somehow. It couldn't be a place just for pirates. John then gives Tracy and the staff a tour of the inside and all the changes they've made interior-wise. I love that they've just got endless bottles of Ciroc, right? They know, they're like, yeah, these lads and lasses, that's going to be straight on their Snapchat story, so make sure we just stock up. Get a little bit of Grey Goose if they're feeling fancy, you know what I mean? One thing I will say is the outside area is actually really clean. Like, it's so much better than the old kind of outdated vibe. Like, this looks like a place I can imagine would be packed, especially on like a warm night. John then shows them around a new piece of machinery he's bought for them, which basically does the servers' jobs for them.
This is a prototype of something called the Smart Bar.
The first is the Smart Bar, an automated bar that can make a perfect drink in less than 10 seconds.
That is so funny because that's clearly a product placement that they've kind of not mentioned as a product placement. That was just a tiny little embedded advert into this episode. Like, why would you need a smart bar in a place where there's a bar? People come and ask you what you want to drink and they bring it to you, so why would you need a place that is just there to make it just makes no sense, or at least not to me.
After a server checks ID, customers can be given an access key that allows 2 beers per transaction.
That's pretty cool.
I am really happy with the way this bar turned out. I have no doubt that it'll be successful if it's run properly.
And I agree. I have no doubt that this will be successful if it is run properly. Okay, I agree, John. But you can see in the faces of Tracy, Luciano, and all of the staff that they don't look like they want to work here anymore. Their heart's not in it, so are they even bothered about making this place a success anymore? I don't think so. This just seems like a bar that John would go to, that he would like. The show then progresses to the hard launch of the corporate bar and grill, and somehow they've managed to get like the local member of Congress to cut the red tape to open it.
Welcome to the business community.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Look at Tracy's face. Like, she's like, yeah, we've literally been like a member of the community for the last 5 years. Like, where have you been? Like, you've never helped before. You're just helping now because there's a TV show here. Now, although it all seems like everything's great and, you know, there's loads of people coming here, Tracy still isn't convinced that she's motivated to make this place a success.
I am honestly very skeptical as to whether this is going to work or not.
Well, that's good. That's good news. The person that's driving this on a daily basis isn't really arsed. Doesn't really think this is all that good, actually. Bring back the pirate hats. However, I will say that like the new system and everything that has been introduced has made the place run a lot more smoothly. Like, the staff are actually fulfilling orders on time. The kitchen's working really well. The place has a structure now and John has really smashed that. I say John, the experts. However, every single time you see Tracy on camera, she is being so negative about the changes.
How bad do we just want a vat of grog right now and just be serving that, huh?
We're really enjoying the new place. Thanks for having us.
That's really not what I want to hear.
See, like, this is such a complex and intricate, like, situation here. Because she's kind of in a rock and a hard place between making something that's going to get her out of debt or making something that makes her happy. And she's been in this camp for too long, and now she's fully in this camp. And I feel like the solution kind of is in somewhere in the middle, personally. But that's not the case, and she's actually rooting for the failure of this place now, somehow. Her saying to customers, like, oh, like, actually, I don't like all of this. Like, this means that they're not gonna come back. If the owner doesn't like the place, why would anyone else like it? And this obviously is just gonna be like poison within the staff. Like, one negative opinion is gonna make other people speak negatively, and then eventually the entire thing's gonna collapse again.
Look at the food prices you did tonight. Do you realize the sales per guest that you did tonight?
Every single time he talks, it's only from a financial perspective, and he doesn't understand when people don't agree with him. But yeah, consider the EBITDA of this business right now. If you kind of continue with this sales sales base. You could sell this business for £10 million in 47 years. It's like, yes, but not everything is about money. Clearly, Tracy is not a money-motivated person. So to me, I don't know if John is actually being successful here. I think the real skill within like this sort of business sector is actually being able to incorporate the pirate thing and actually make it a success somehow, like what I said about the crazy golf, or just finding an idea. You're the expert in this field. I don't know how I feel about this. It would be interesting to see what you think, and if you're more in John's camp or you're more in Tracy's or somewhere in the middle, let me know where you lie with your opinion. Show then gives us a short-term update to see how the place got on after John and the cameras left. The corporate bar and grill remained open for only a few days. Yep. Didn't see that coming. Tracy closed it and officially reopened as Pirates with a Z, just without the tavern on the end. She's like, this is really going to work. Within weeks after the relaunch, which obviously, like, what signal does that send out to the community? You've just done this huge launch as corporate bar and grill, and weeks later, same ownership, you've changed it again. That's just going to confuse people. And I find it hilarious because the last thing that they put in bold text at the end of the episode is, Tracy still lives in her parents' basement with Giuliano. And that's definitely like a last, like, fuck you to them. Like, oh, well, you didn't listen to us. Well, you still live with your parents. Like, they didn't need to put that in the end. But clearly, John felt a little bit, like, defensive and hurt that they'd done all these changes. And to an extent, I kind of understand because, you know, they have, like, financially put a lot into this. However, they are financially going to, you know, reap a lot of rewards off this episode. And also, he just never considered their motivation or their feelings at all. So he really kind of, in my opinion, has to take a part of the blame for this. Now, I've done some of my own research and I've found quite a few updates about where this place is today and some things that happened along the way since the short-term update. So let's get into it. One of the funniest things that I found on YouTube was right after this episode was actually launched on television, people started going up to the Pirates Tavern and like filming it, and they were saying like how nobody was in it. Now, although they rebranded back to Pirates Tavern, the place actually closed in April 2015. This is what they're quoted in saying. They blamed the closure on the negative backlash from appearing on Bar Rescue that led to vandalism and prank calls at the bar. Oh my god, I don't even want to imagine how many people prank called them pretending to be pirates. That must have been awful. Now, the vandalism thing, obviously that's not going to help, but realistically, this place was always going to fail, and appearing on Bar Rescue probably just accelerated that failure. They also blamed constant repeats of the episode and their lease was not renewed. Again, it is a little bit sad to see that they're just blaming, like they're blaming everything on everyone else. Like, they were already in a pretty bad situation before John even came. Tracy claims that she was promised a re-rescue in Back to the Bar, but it was an interview instead, which we're going to get onto the actual interview. Like, normally they'll try and help them again, but I am kind of glad that John didn't do this because he kind of, you know, he gave them a structure if they did want to make money, and they kind of just didn't listen to him and just went back to normal. Even if they kind of took a little bit from it and incorporated something about pirates in it, then he probably would have been more motivated. But the fact they just went back to normal, it's like, well, what's the point in us making another episode if you're not going to keep the stuff we do? I understand that. They then opened up a new bar, which is called Bar Refuge in 2016, and the bar was sold to new owners in 2018. Like, why would you have a bar close and then open up a new one somewhere else? Like, surely it's a sign, especially if you're in like £1 million of debt, that maybe this just isn't for us. Now, like I said, here is the interviews they had in like Back to the Bar, which is the revisit episodes of Bar Rescue.
He really just dove back into the pirate theme.
That is a idiot.
That was quite a funny response. It is kind of true. It's like, oh, so you kind of just went back to what was failing originally, just acted like none of this ever happened.
We redid the woodwork, the paneling, everything that had been painted had to be replaced, and redid the seating layout so that it was more streamlined.
How have they got the money for this though? Like, they're already £900,000 in debt. How are they financing like a brand new renovation off their own back? And also, like, it's not the renovation and it's not the interior of this place that was making the place fail. That was the last thing that was changed in the entire show, because that wasn't one of the main things.
I think Johnny Taffer's really stupid. We take it off the sign and
burn and drink.
Well, I thought that was just like a figure of speech. No, they actually tore it down and burnt it. What, did they do some sort of like ritual around it as well? Why is there people standing around? These people are mental. Genuinely mental. They burnt the sign. They were talking about other people doing vandalism. They're just as bad.
In all my years as a bar consultant, I've come up against people who challenge my ideas, but Pirates Tavern is the only one who outright threw them in the trash.
As much as I've criticised this show, I need it to be known that I actually have thoroughly enjoyed covering this episode. I feel like we need to do more. There is other various small segments of interviews with them.
Basically, what I think is a good idea, asking John Bar Rescue to come back. Really don't have a lot to lose.
But, like, why would you think he'd want to come back? Like, I'm trying to kind of get in the mindset of this. Like, do you think you're owed his help now? You literally burnt his sign. Like, you can't have it both ways. Like, you're trying to do a funny, like, F you to him. You can't now ask for his help. Now you need help again. It doesn't, like, you can't have it both ways, love. Now, I did try and find footage if, like, John ever met up with them again. And I believe they came to, like, one of his studio episodes and actually had a chat with them.
What's happened since?
We're currently looking to open a new location in Florida, Bar Refuge.
Bar Refuge.
I am shocked that they would even think about opening up another place. Genuinely, like, that is... I can't fathom how their brains can justify that. After what we've just seen, after how we've seen that they ran their last place. Maybe it's actually... You know, if you had a pirate tavern in a place where pirates are located, maybe this would have actually been a success. I did look for ages to find like a photo of this new place that they did eventually open, and I managed to find one. Here it is. So, like, it does look very, like, piratey, I guess. Like, you know, from the sign and everything. It looks like something you'd see in, like, a cheesy American film, you know? It looks like something maybe out of a chick flick that a guy from the Dukes of Hazzard, that a guy wearing, like, a cowboy hat with like some sort of like tartan sleeveless shirt would come out of, like really angry. Kind of vibes it gives us. And yeah, for the people wondering what happened to the location that they had the Pirates Tavern at, it actually turned into a Domino's pizza shop. Oh, God. Well, at least it was put to a good use. But then even Domino's didn't renew the lease for that spot. It's 2 months ago, somebody on Reddit took a selfie with where the place used to be, and it's just, like, full of graffiti and basically, like, a building site now. So maybe it's just that plot that's cursed. Maybe it wasn't actually the Pirates Tavern's fault. It's the grounds it was placed on. It's cursed. I guarantee that Tracy and Giussiano would blame it on that if they could. But yeah, that's the end of this video, Donuts. I hope you enjoyed my coverage of Bar Rescue. If you want me to do another episode of this, 6,000 likes on this video, that just lets us know that you've enjoyed it. And also in the comments, let us know like your opinions on this episode, and also which episode we should do next. And if you want to see me break down the most insane restaurant that ever appeared on Kitchen Nightmares, which is exactly like Bar Rescue, click this video right here, because genuinely it's even more insane than this episode.